Good morning. We're very familiar with this issue by now. The supply chains for everything run through China, and this is a critical problem for manufacturers in Western countries who are paying far higher prices for components and parts because of the high tariffs from the trade war. But it's an existential problem for weapons makers and defense contractors in Western countries who cannot get key raw materials at all and who need them to build weapons to sell and for fighting in real wars like in Gaza and in Ukraine. It's already hitting multi-billion-dollar weapons platforms fielded by the Pentagon, who need China's rare earth magnets to make the missiles and the planes go in the right direction, and the Chinese have cut those off. But gunpowder has been around for ages, and we need China to make that too. In Europe, they can't make enough gunpowder or TNT to supply Ukraine, let alone build up their own supplies. The most basic materials typically are sourced from China. European governments desperately need their chemical companies to switch over to military production, but there are reasons why Western chemical companies got out of that business a long time ago. Cotton is one of the bottlenecks here that nobody was paying attention to until recently. There are two volatile components involved in building an explosive shell: the propellant and the explosive. The propellants come from very high-grade cotton, and most of that comes from China. China is friendly with Russia, so that's the problem. The European Union has proposed increased defense spending of 150 billion euro, but even if that passes, factories there cannot build weapons for years because of the supply chain problems. Chemical companies use nitrocellulose for civilian applications, but that quality is not military grade, and the conversion would be technically and legally difficult. There are very strict rules on the production and the transport of the cargoes to build propellants and explosives. The industry generates a lot of pollution and demands a lot of energy, and involves heavy use of acids and other dangerous chemicals. So Europe outsourced all this industry a long time ago to China, to Turkey, the Balkans, and Ukraine. Now the Ukraine war is placing high demands on artillery producers in particular, with Russia firing off 10,000 rounds per day. Ukraine can't possibly keep up and can only answer with 2,000 to 6,000 per day. So Europe is trying to reopen plants that were shut down decades ago. It's almost impossible to build a new plant in Europe because of the regulations and permits, but even opening up old factories doesn't happen quickly. A French company reopened a plant in Bergerac that closed down in 2007, and it took a year to even get the construction started. It was 2 years before it was producing again. So that's one serious challenge, that it just takes a long time to get production going again, even in facilities that previously built these weapons. Another problem is that chemical companies want strong guarantees that they won't spend a big pile of money to open a plant and make shells and bombs, and then the wars end and they don't have customers. So firms are demanding long-term contracts. The Belgian government signed a 20-year deal with a company there, which was enough for them to justify new investment, but that was rare. So far there was lots of talk and pledges of higher spending, but very few actual long-term deals signed. Other industries need TNT to do things besides blowing up other human beings. Mining companies and heavy construction are seeing their costs blow out because of the shortages caused by the wars. A single 155 millimeter shell needs about 10 kilograms, over 20 pounds of TNT, which now costs $45 per kilogram. So that's $450 worth just for one shell. And remember that Ukraine is going through up to 6,000 shells per day. And the United States has the same problem the EU has. There has been no TNT produced in the US for 40 years. And TNT is just half the problem. With high quality cotton the other, and China makes most of that. NATO countries currently ban most imports of Chinese cotton, but Russia gets all they want. We can already say then that this headline is misleading. There is not a worldwide TNT shortage. Russia and China are well supplied. The shortages are hitting Western companies and Western militaries. Global Ordnance is a defense industry supplier and previously sourced their TNT from a factory in Ukraine. That went offline in 2022, and now they're scrambling around for new supplies. Before the recent wars, there were two markets for TNT, commercial markets and governments. The requirements for selling to the American government, for example, were far higher, and so were the prices. The packaging and testing are different, and the shipping costs 3 times as much because they need to come in on a US flag ship. We don't have very many of those anyway. But now the prices are higher for everybody, quadrupling in 4 years. This is Chengdu, Tianfu district. Be good.
Pray for those who hurt you. Love your enemies. Do unto others as you want others to do for you. Store up for yourself treasure in heaven. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also.